Hello and welcome to another Roaming Norway YouTube video. Free supercharging sucks. Yes, I said it. Free supercharging sucks for so many reasons that I will go through in this video. I have some positive points and a ton of negative points for free supercharging. Just to talk about my experience with free supercharging, because I have to have experience with this to make this video. This is a 2025 Model Y with 2 years of free supercharging. Before this, I have owned Teslas that have had free supercharging through credits. There are many implementations of free supercharging in Teslas. We know that the early Teslas came with like unlimited free supercharging that followed the car. Then we had free supercharging that was tied to the owner of the car. Then we had these credits. Then we had these 1 or 2 year free supercharging deals that you could get if you took delivery of the car within like the quarter. So many implementations of free supercharging in Teslas. So my experience with this is that, of course, this car has free supercharging. I am super lucky. I have a supercharger down at my grocery store, so I can stop there, charge while going grocery store in the grocery store. I still believe that free supercharging is not a good thing, and free charging in general for other cars is not a good thing. It sounds amazing, like free petrol or free diesel. It sounds absolutely amazing, and it sounds like, oh, you can get free fuel. But in reality, it's not like that, because electric cars are charged differently than, or fueled differently than internal combustion engines. And that's the truth. So, I could charge while shopping. Doesn't that sound amazing? Well, I will return to that point. I will just talk a little bit about the upsides first, because there are benefits to free supercharging. DC fast charging is expensive, so we save a lot of money. On road trips, if I go down to Italy and up here, it could be 300-400 euros saved. That's a good thing. You can't say that that's not a good thing. You save money, so that's amazing, right? Well, I'm coming back to that. Anyway, it encourages road trips, so that's a good thing. So that I can take this car and I can go on guilt-free road trips all around, because I save money by having free supercharging as opposed to paying for the supercharging. And it can increase the value of the car if it can follow the car on sale. That was the benefits. If you have any other benefits, leave them in the comments down below. I couldn't find any other benefits. Now is the long list of downsides of free supercharging. First of all, it's not good for the battery to DC fast charge. Even if you care or not, that's a different point, of course, but it's not as good as slow charging. A battery likes to be slowly charged rather than supercharged, and that's the truth. So that's the downside. There is a ton of wasted energy when preconditioning to the supercharger, so it's less efficient. You waste a lot of energy. You might not care because you're not paying for the energy, but you do actually waste a lot of energy when preconditioning to a supercharger. It is also much slower than you think, especially if you cannot precondition. So this brings me to a point that many people, especially people that haven't owned electric cars, believe. They believe they want a DC fast charger in their neighborhood or close to them. I have one, and it's free, and it sucks. You don't want a supercharger down at your grocery store. It's 7 minutes away. You can't possibly precondition the car to take any good amount of energy. You have to stay there for 1 hour plus to charge as much as you want to charge when you are there. You don't want a supercharger near you. You want the supercharger to be a long road trip so that you have at least 1 hour of driving until you need to charge. You don't want a supercharger in your neighborhood. You might think that you do, and when Tesla does like the voting thing with the map, everyone chooses the supercharger that's closest to them. Believe me, you don't want a supercharger there. You want to have home charging. I'm also going to talk about some issues with home charging. I actually know that not everyone can have home charging, and I know that free charging is a major benefit for them. I will address that point later in the video. So You need to precondition. I need to precondition down to the charger. I have a video on this channel, if you're interested, where I go with a frozen LFP battery down to the charger to charge it, and it needs like 15-20 minutes just to heat the battery to charge fast. It's absolutely horrendous. It's a bad experience. So now you have 20-15 minutes in addition to the charging time for going to the grocery store, and I'm not staying at the grocery store for that long, so maybe you add 10-20%. And in this car, which is an NMC battery, still LG battery, I might add 20-30% in my shopping when I go shopping. So depending on how many days a week you go shopping, you can't get enough energy without staying there longer than you want. So this brings me to the next point, which is that it takes away your freedom. What if I want to go to another grocery store this week? They have great deals. I don't want to go to that grocery store. Well, then you can't. You can't, because you need to charge. So this brings us to the point that when you have an internal combustion car, you need to go to a gas station. You need to go to a specific place to fill up your car. And that's a downside. So you bring that downside from internal combustion engines over to your EV. You have to go to a specific point. You also have to stay there for probably longer than you really want to. So the car dictates how long you need to stay at the grocery store, instead of just charging overnight and never going to a specific place to charge. It also encourages bad behavior, free charging in general. It's not just for Teslas, but it encourages bad behavior, because when I go down to the grocery store, I want to charge 100%. I stay there for way longer than any of the other people that actually need the charger to get to their destination. They are maybe driving for like 7 hours a day. They just need to stop for 15 minutes, and then the charger is full of people charging to 100% because they have free supercharging or free charging. That sucks, and that's of course something I don't believe in at all. I have to mention here again that if you don't have home charging and you need to charge to 100%, I totally understand that. Tesla or another automaker sold you the car with this free charging, and I understand that you want to stand there and you need to charge a lot or whatever. I get it. This is for people that actually had the ability to install a home charger in general. So next point, discouraging home charging. Yes, a lot of home charger places can't get a home charger. So you have the apartments and stuff, but this has an issue because it discourages the push for home charging. You want to push for home charging. So even though your apartment doesn't have home charging, you kind of want to push for it. But if you have free supercharging, that kind of for people, it might eliminate the push for home charging. They might accept the compromise of going to that specific place to charge instead of pushing for home charging, because they believe that, okay, it's free, it's not a hassle or anything like that. It also might discourage people from installing a home charger where they can install a home charger. So they have their own house, but they think, oh, I have free charging, I'll accept the compromise of going down there. And they never get to experience the amazing thing that you can just plug in, charge overnight, and then in the morning you have all the battery in the world to go wherever you want. So you lose the main benefit because you can't you don't get to try to have a home charger because you believe, okay, do I need to install a home charger? I have free charging, much better than paying for the electricity at home. And the last point on this list is that you buy a Tesla for free charging. So you buy one of the older Tesla Model S's for free charging, and then it charges so slow. You need to stay 1.5-2 hours at the chargers to get a significant amount of energy to not go there again the next day. So you need to stay there for way too long. You buy a worse road tripping car, you buy a worse car just to save a little bit on supercharging. I think that's not a good thing to do. I think it's better to just pay for a newer Tesla with faster charging and then pay for the supercharging. I believe it's a bad experience to own one of these old Teslas with free supercharging. Of course, if you can get it cheap And if you don't have home charging and you're okay staying for a long time at these fast chargers, I believe it can be a good thing. And I actually think that you can make up your own mind and you can test this for yourself. And you might completely disagree with me. You might think, oh, I'm just going to this one grocery store and it gives me enough energy to go wherever I want until I need to shop again at this grocery store. I'm just saying that these points are just something many people maybe not be realizing when they're buying their first electric car. So as I was making this video, I realized that many people don't have access to home charging, and I sound like a total douche for like saying, oh, you shouldn't rely on DC fast charging. Many people have to rely on DC fast charging. Then free supercharging is a good thing because you need to do it regardless. What I'm trying to get through in this video is that I wouldn't buy a car because it has free supercharging or free charging. I am making this video to explain the downsides of free supercharging and that it's not just a good thing for an automaker to offer this. We bought this car not because of free supercharging. We bought it because we got an amazing deal on the car and it had all the features that we wanted, like dog mode. And it's amazing in that sense. Of course, it's a nice bonus having free supercharging, going on road trips, but we nearly don't use it. I have tried to only use free supercharging down at the grocery store for weeks just before making this video, so that I actually have an experience to show you, because all the numbers that I talked about, like 30-40% added, that was my normal grocery store run, and I don't want to go to that grocery store all the time. It's of course one of the more affordable ones. It's actually a good grocery store, but I want the freedom to go wherever I want. I don't want this charger to dictate where I'm going. So of course, after the weeks of trying this, turning back to my home charger because it's more convenient. Yes, it costs me more. Electricity is of course cheaper in Norway, so I'm a little bit entitled when saying this. Maybe in your country it's the same price as DC fast charging, and that changes things for sure, but I'm back to paying for my electricity for this car. It's better for the battery, it is more convenient, it's just overnight, I don't need to go to a specific point, and it's just a better experience. Ownership experience. Yes, it costs a little bit more, but that's the way I really want it. It's a nice to have. I wouldn't buy a car because of it. If you want a pillow in your car, go to the Joa link down below in the description. I have a discount link for this amazing memory foam pillow that I absolutely love. And a ton of other Joa products. I also have a discount link for enhanced products down in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching Roaming Norway, and see you in another video very, very soon.